Welcome to another wonderful episode of Working on Cars on this EK here. If you're new or if you haven't watched the videos, I have a K20 EK that I'm working on. I have a 1995 Acura NSX. So the last video I did was upgrading the rear suspension from drums to rear disc. So we did a rear disc conversion. I'm upgrading the front as well. I'm going to go with the OEM upgrade. The OEM upgrade, I guess, most people choose Integra Type R calipers. I'm going with NSX calipers because I have NSX calipers from my NSX because I did stop, take, big brake hit on this. To do an upgrade like this, what you're going to need is spindles, the bigger spindles from an Integra. Spindles from an EM1 or EX with ABS may work, but if you want to do this in a 92 to 2000, your best bet is go to the junkyard to get some Integra spindles. So you're going to need those spindles so the bracket can mount up to. So spindles, calipers from Integra Type R or NSX. There's other stuff out there also that you can use that I'm not very familiar with, but ITR or NSX or CRV. You have to look up to which specific year CRV, I'm not so sure. But ITR or NSX. So spindles, calipers. You're gonna need the 23T caliper brackets. The ones from my NSX was a 28T, so I can't use that. 28 is the thickness for the rotors. So 23T caliper bracket. 25T may work, but I think 23T is gonna be a better fit. So we got spindles, bracket, caliper. Your rotors you're going to use because, well, if you're a 4x100 like I am, it's going to be from a 2007 base Mini Cooper. And the pad is going to work with all this. You could use Integra Type R or NSX pads, but you're going to have about 2mm of overhang. So your best bet's going to be 2004 TSX pads. They'll fit right. So today it's hot, and I'm just going to work on taking off the stuff up front and kind of just get it ready to install it. Maybe tomorrow, later on in this video, I'll throw on the new stuff. So I got the stuff sitting over there, so I'm already starting this thing down. Okay, so I'm gonna be besides upgrading this, the spindle, the hub, everything. To do this, I'm gonna be changing out the coilovers as well, and I'm also gonna be changing out the upper control arm to PCI. The ones I have here are true hards. They're decent. They would have worked. If I'd known I had them, I would have probably just not gotten the PCI ones. But the PCI are superior, and they're just built nicer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and change it up. And I got a buddy who may buy those for me, so it all works out. So I already undid the 32mm nut. This axle is ready to pop out. I'm gonna undo the outer tie rod. I'm gonna undo the bolt here, and I'm gonna unbolt it from up here, as well as the side bolt there, and the other one's gonna be on this side for the upper control arm. And then this whole thing will just come right out. So I went ahead and removed the master cylinder so I can access this one easier. I'm going to be changing this thing out anyways, so I just went ahead and removed it. Easiest thing to do is I'm going to put a nut on this by hand, so then I can just pull out this spindle, and then I can remove the shock. This way I don't risk pulling that axle out. She is out. I had some old Taquico Blues ground control sleeve overs. It's got True Hearts upper control arms. Seem pretty nicely built. I'm gonna sell them to my buddy for real cheap. I'm gonna throw some PCI ones on there. So yeah, gonna clean up the shop and kind of just prep to continue and resume. All right, so here what's going on. PCI upper front camber kit. There's no lowers, just upper, the front camber kit. Look how beautiful. just appreciate how awesome this looks. This thing is definitely beefy. I feel that it's worth the money. They're not cheap, but I think they're worth it, and I'm excited to throw this bitch on this. There's instructions, but they're pretty straightforward. It's giving torque specs and some basic stuff. But the important thing is going to be pretty much. Let me just show you here. They tell you that the hole here should point to the rear of the vehicle, but easier yet, they have an arrow there, which is weird because I didn't see the instructions, but I don't know, maybe they're not good enough. But this arrow is going to pretty much indicate forward of the car. So holes toward the rear, arrow forward. Of course, you should be able to tell which one's upper part of the arm and which one's lower. If you can't, then you have bigger issues that I can help you with. So this should be easy. Upper control arm is installed. Kind of give this a rough adjustment compared to the other one. These are spherical upper control arms, and because they're spherical, you can go ahead and tighten up this bolt without preloading it because it's spherical and not rubber bushing. So that one's done. Now to install the shock. Alexa, pause. Okay, we are getting there. Coilover is in. Forks are in. On the driver's side, you want to make sure to get this over this and then slide it in. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to slide this in there easily without risking turning the boot. We are getting there. We're getting there. So I got the spindle on one side. So here, let me show you how the spindle looks out of the car. I'm sure you know how it looks like, but I'm going to show you anyways. So that's a GSR spindle. Put extended nuts on that. I put new ball joint and I put new bearings. So this is what I'm going to worry about that. And here it is on the side right here, installed. That'll tighten up nuts and all that stuff, of course, but getting there. Alright, so I don't know if it's because I got, the K20 swap or what, but I had to get that jack to help me lift this up so I can pop this in. I couldn't get this to line. If this was on, I couldn't get this on. If this was on, I couldn't get this on, so I had to kind of jack it up and kind of rotate this as I pop it. And it seems like the spider gears in the axle or something, just something somewhere had just popped out. That boot was looking a little stretched, so I think it was in here. But yeah, I felt the pop in. Everything should line up now. Getting there. Hey guys, how's it going? Today I'm just tying up some stuff. This came in the mail. These are the spacers that's going to go between the coilover and the lower control arm to fill that gap. $15 on eBay. So that's kind of just what I'm doing today. Tightening up some stuff. Gonna install this and try to find that nut for the brake booster. I'm sorry, for the master cylinder to the brake booster that I lost. So, love from projects. Alright, just in case you want to know how it looks like. Where is it? There it is. It's a very tight tolerance, which is good. So that takes care of that. What is up? New day. Little status of where we're at. I slapped on the rotor. Again, this is a power stop rotor. That's for a 2007 Mini Cooper. It's bolted onto a Integra. I believe I got it from a 96 or 97 GSR, which will allow this bracket, which is a 23T bracket from the Integra Type R, Actually, I pulled this from a CRV. The CRV and the ITR will use the same bracket, but just make sure it's 23T. 25T could work, but 23T is the one that you really want. So, next step is going to be to throw on the NSX caliper and hook up the lines. Alright, Hawk HPS from a 2004 TSX is where you're going to want to throw on this. We got some lube there, don't forget that. Okay, so I did clean these little pins here for the caliper, put new grease and new boots, and I went ahead and threw the left side on. Sexy. I want to throw new lines. Those are from the NSX. I want to get the Civic specific lines. Yeah, look how good that looks. Time to do the other side. Alright, so I got the brakes done. So, yeah, there you go. NSX big brake conversion on the EK is completed. Now I gotta hook up lines. I gotta install the master cylinder, bleed the brakes, but front brake conversion is completed. If you guys liked this video, if you guys found it informative, hopefully you guys learned something from there. I mean, I learn all the time, just seeing what people do, seeing what works. Like when I'm having an issue with the master cylinder, I want to be checking into that. I think I need a new brake booster to work with my ITR master cylinder, but that'll be later. So thanks, like the video, subscribe, and see you later.